Now, planting up your verge has become one of the biggest trends around the neighbourhood these days, but you have to remember what a verge is for. This is all about a service corridor, making sure all the essential services that go onto your property can actually get through. Now, things like water connections, your stormwater, your sewerage, your electricity, that all have pathways through to your property. So knowing where they are and making sure that you don't go and damage them is very important. Now, if you plant yours up, just remember that occasionally these services are going to have to be accessed, which might mean that your precious garden gets dug up. And speaking of plantings, when you're thinking about putting in trees and shrubs, make sure you select them very carefully. The last thing you want them doing is damaging these vital services. It could cost an absolute packet. Dial Before You Dig will give you a map of where the main service cables and pipes are on your property. That means that you can then plant, but away from them. Plant selection is always important. Huge trees on your verge isn't always the best idea. If the tree's roots wrap around a pipe like this and break them, well, the roots have to be cut away, more than likely killing your favourite tree. It doesn't matter where you dig on your property, it's always vitally important you understand what's under your feet. It doesn't matter whether you're digging with a shovel or using the kanga to lay a trench down. You have to be very careful, and your first stop should always be this organisation, Dial Before You Dig. Give them a call a couple of days before you start the project. Now, if you're wondering what tree or shrub you should be planting out on the verge, there's a couple of great resources out there. Your local council is one, and of course service providers also have some sensational resources when it comes to planting plants out on the verge. Now, if you're worried about it costing you money to contact Dial Before You Dig, here's the good news. It's totally free. So the only thing it's going to cost you is a little bit of time in planning. But if you invest, it'll save you damaging any of the services that supply, well, what are essential services to your property. Most importantly, it'll just make sure that the job runs smoothly. So make sure you call this number. Make sure you dial before you dig.